Hi, I'm Jackie, a 24-year-old marketing specialist working in downtown Chicago. Trust me, what I'm about to tell you is a perfect example of why you should never ignore your gut feelings about people. Jackie, Bob is different. He makes me feel alive again. My mom gushed, her eyes sparkling as she reminisced about meeting him at a chair auction 3 years ago. I forced a smile, but something felt off right from the start. Your mom seems really happy, though, Martha said as we sipped coffee at our favorite cafe. Maybe give him a chance. I'm trying, I admitted. But every time I see them together, he's always there, hovering. Over time, the signs piled up. Mom stopped making decisions on her own. First, her spontaneous lunch visits to my office stopped. Then, even her infectious laugh seemed to fade. Oh, honey, I'll have to check with Bob about investing in your business idea. He handles our finances now, she said casually one day. That wasn't my mom speaking. The Linda Mitchell I knew was independent, bold, the woman who built her real estate empire from scratch. Did your mom just say Bob manages the accounts now? Martha's eyebrows shot up when I told her. Yeah. And get this, she had to ask his permission to buy a new car. Her old one's falling apart. Then came the phone call from Thomas, my mom's business partner. Jackie, your mother just signed over partial control of the agency to Bob. She didn't even read the paperwork. I confronted her over dinner. Since when do you not read contracts? I demanded. Bob knows what he's doing, sweetie, Mom said softly. He has an MBA. Mom, so do thousands of people. That doesn't mean. That's enough, Jackie, Bob cut in coldly, his voice slicing through the air. Your mother trusts my judgment. Maybe you should too. Mom shrank into her chair, avoiding my gaze. 3 years ago, she would have stood her ground. Now she just folded. Little did I know, watching her fade into a shadow of herself was only the beginning. Then came the night everything changed. Miss Mitchell, this is Mercy Hospital. Your mother's been in a serious accident. Those words hit me like a freight train. By 2 a.m., I was at the hospital, still in my pajamas. Bob was already there, huddled with a lawyer I didn't recognize. She's in a coma, the doctor explained. The next 48 hours are critical. I'll handle everything, Bob interjected, shoving a stack of papers at the doctor. I have medical power of attorney. Since when? I demanded. Your mother signed it last month, he said smoothly, along with some other necessary documents. I felt a wave of nausea. Mom wouldn't have done this without telling me. He's lying, Martha insisted when I called her. Mike's cousin works at the courthouse. We'll check the documents first thing tomorrow. But Bob moved faster than any of us expected. By morning, he had frozen all of Mom's accounts, including the joint ones I had access to. You can't lock me out of everything. I confronted him in the hospital hallway. Actually, I can, he replied, his tone icy. And if you cause trouble, he glanced toward Mom's room. Premium medical care is expensive. It would be a shame if we had to move her somewhere more affordable. That's when his sister Karen appeared, dripping with fake sympathy and flaunting her designer handbag. Sweetie, you're just upset, she cooed. Bob's doing what's best for everyone. Oh, and about your old room, we'll need it cleared out. The house is being listed tomorrow. What? That's my childhood home. Was, Karen corrected, smirking. The new deed shows different ownership. Devastated, I called Thomas. They're selling everything, I sobbed. Give me an hour, he said. I've been keeping records. When I met Thomas at his office, my hands shook as he laid out the evidence. Look at these property transfers, he said grimly. All perfectly legal on paper. But the timing, something didn't add up. These transfers were backdated, Thomas said, his voice grim. Bob's been planning this for months. And Jackie, he's done this before. Mike burst in, waving his phone. I found something. 3 other women. 3 other cities, same pattern. Marry, accident, assets vanish. Did he get caught? I asked, though I already knew the answer. Mike shook his head. No, the women either died or gave up fighting. I felt the walls closing in. Every lawyer I called hit the same roadblock. Everything looked perfectly legal. The documents are too clean, one attorney admitted, almost like they were prepared well in advance. Martha helped me document everything while I camped out at Mom's bedside. Every conversation, every threat, every suspicious visitor. I recorded it all. You don't want to do this, Jackie, Bob warned one night, his tone as cold as the hospital's fluorescent lights. I've dealt with troublemakers before. Is that what happened to the others? I shot back. Were they troublemakers too? His face changed, a flicker of menace crossing his features. I don't know what you think you know. I know enough. Then you know I always win. Always. He leaned closer, his voice a venomous whisper. By the way, your mother's insurance might not cover extended care. Shame if she had to be moved to state facilities. Helpless, I watched movers empty our family home. Karen oversaw everything, making sure every valuable disappeared into storage. I left with one box of clothes and my laptop. But what they didn't know was that hidden inside my laptop were copies of every document, every transaction, and every piece of evidence Thomas and Mike had uncovered. Bob thought he'd won, his biggest mistake, leaving me alive and angry. Unlike his other victims, I wasn't going to disappear quietly. The money's moving through shell companies, Thomas explained, spreading out documents across his desk. Look at these timestamps, transfers at midnight. Like clockwork. Late nights in Thomas's office became my new normal. That's where I met Diana. She stumbled in one rainy evening, looking exhausted. I saw your posts in the fraud victim forums, she said softly. Bob Turner, he did the same thing to my aunt. Did she make it? I asked. She shook her head, tears pooling in her eyes. No, complications from her injuries right after he drained her accounts. Then came the breakthrough. Mike burst into Thomas's office, breathless. You won't believe what Karen let slip at happy hour. What? She was drunk, bragging about vacation homes in the Caymans, multiple properties all bought within days of Bob's previous wife's accident. That's when I started recording every interaction with Bob. Sign these transfer papers for the agency, he demanded one night. Why the rush? Market's hot. Strike while the iron's. Don't be difficult, Jackie. Remember who controls your mother's care. He didn't notice the tiny camera hidden in my jacket button, capturing every threat. His entire empire is built on fraud, Thomas revealed after weeks of digging. Tax evasion, insurance scams, identity theft. Then came the moment that changed everything. I was sitting by Mom's bedside, holding her hand when I felt it. Her fingers twitched. Then she squeezed my hand, faint but unmistakable. She's waking up, I cried. I called Martha immediately. Block the door, I said. Mike's voice cut through the phone. Bob's heading up with some lawyer. Move fast. Through the hospital window, we watched Bob pacing the hallway, making frantic calls. Move everything. By the time Bob realized what was happening, it was already too late. The dominoes were falling. I don't care about the fees, I told Thomas. She can't wake up to empty accounts. Mom's recovery came with a fierce clarity. Her first coherent words stopped Bob in his tracks. Where's my checkbook? She demanded, her voice stronger than it had been in years. You're confused, dear. Rest, Bob tried, his tone saccharine. The hell I am. Jackie, why can't I access my accounts? That's when the FBI walked in. Bob Turner, we have some questions about your offshore holdings. And Miss Turner, an agent added, turning to Karen, your real estate license is suspended pending investigation. Diana arrived with 5 other victims' families. Their testimonies stretch over 3 days, painting a damning picture of Bob's calculated schemes. Mike's updates came like clockwork. He's on every airport watch list, he reported. Border Patrol caught him trying to cross into Canada. The trial was swift. Bob's meticulous paper trail sealed his fate. 20 years, the judge announced, and full restitution to the victims. Mom recovered fully, throwing herself into rebuilding her business with a renewed vigor. I launched my own marketing firm specializing in fraud prevention campaigns, turning our nightmare into a mission to protect others. 1 year later, I visited Bob in prison. He looked smaller, pathetic in his orange jumpsuit. Jackie, please, he begged. I'm sorry. I'll make it right. Like you did for Diana's aunt? Or the others? I asked, my voice steady. I've changed. Save it, I snapped. I just came to say one thing. I won. And you'll never hurt another family again. His desperate pleas followed me as I walked away, but I didn't look back. How'd it go? Mom asked later. Exactly as planned, I said, smiling. He's got 19 more years to think about his choices. Sometimes justice comes from simply refusing to stay quiet. Have you ever faced a situation where someone close to you revealed their true colors, but others told you to give them a chance? Or maybe insisted you were just being paranoid? How did you handle that gut feeling when something wasn't right? My story is a testament to the danger of ignoring red flags. Looking back, the signs were there: the controlling behavior, the isolation, the subtle threats. But society often pressures us to keep the peace or make it work, especially when it involves family. So what's more dangerous? A stranger who means us harm or someone who gains our trust and manipulates us? Should we always trust our instincts, or are there times when we're being too suspicious? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about trusting our gut and protecting ourselves and those we love.